welcome back to Pantheon the Geeks, and finally welcome back to Necromunda. It's been a little while since we did a Necromunda video. We do have some other outstanding Necromunda stuff to do, but we'll get to that eventually. But as this being a new release with the Book of the Outcast, I thought we'd have a look at this. And of course the new models and this marketplace has come out. And in addition, for the bonus, we also have Lady Credo from Forge World, which Claire bought me. It's very nice of her to do so. And also one of the models from the backlog of models I wanted to open up, but as he appears on the front cover, Dr. Arachnos. There he is.
Is that what he sounds like?
Yeah, sounds a little bit like the penguin for some reason. I think it's the mask. Plague mask.
Plague mask.
Yeah. So we'll have a look at those two at the end, because they're Forge World models. And we'll start by having a look at the book, I think. And just what's in it, basically. So a very quick overview of what we get in this book. Obviously you get the usual blurb and interesting and fluff when you come into this, or lore. Still prefer fluff. Some images of some of the previous models, like the bounty hunters and such like. And then the rules for assembling an Outcast gang, which is interesting. There wasn't actually an Outcast gang in the original Necromunda.
Oh.
Not a specific one. There was actually an add-on called Outcast. But it had various, like, scavies and redemptionists and stuff like that.
Oh, so just a bunch of whatever you wanted in it.
But this is a different kind of Outcast. These are just Outcast people. And then we have the rules for creating a leader, and quite extensive actually. All the rules about the gang hierarchy, affiliation, and then clan house, merchant guilds, criminal organisations, and then some of the delegation ones and how you can add those in as well. And still creating our leader. We have archetypes, brawler, gunslinger, survivor. So we can actually customise the leader. There's a lot of customisation onto the leader as to how they've brought this group together. Maybe they're a mastermind or a weird with psychic powers. And then we're on to the champion. So an Underhive Outcast champion with tools of the trade, such like. Skill accesses there as well. And then we have normal Hive scum for 30 credits each. And they have access to quite a few different weapons and a lot of like reclaimed versions of weapons as well, slightly cheaper versions. We have then on to the special characters. We have Big Crumb, the rattling slopper, who's a model I did unbox previously. Hangers on and brutes. We have a Underhive trader. Is that the model that's coming out soon? I think
Probably,
so.
Yeah.
We have Dome Runners, they're already out, and Amojacks. This guy's coming out soon, the Slopper. So there's rules for him in there. Rogue Docs, which are already out. And then we have Doc Arachnos there. And we have Brutes, as in other gangs. We have Lethal Pattern, Excavation, Jotun, Servitor Ogrins. Now we have the rules for Outlander Terrain, which actually has the Stronghold rules in here as well. I just don't have them on a separate piece of paper. We also have rules for the market, which we're going to unbox. And how that's used, and basically stealing from the market during the game. Rules for that. Then we have the weird powers. Obviously useful if you're tracing a weird leader, which isn't a bad idea actually. Then we have another special character, Ragnar Gunstein. And then the Necromunda Outlander campaign, which is a different kind of campaign. You play Necromunda, where your actual goal is to sort of build a settlement up. And during normal sort of games, you get to basically try and make the best settlement. And the different settlements you can start with there. And lots of things for running this campaign. This one actually looks quite interesting. Actually building up a settlement and running through it could be quite interesting. Different little mix on it where you've actually got trying to build the best settlement as you're going along. And all the rules are being captured. Pre-battle sequences, everything that you'd expect in a campaign. Some of the previous books have similar campaigns. Selling to the guilds, medical escorts, etc, etc. And then the building types. And then we have scenarios. And we have another dude there I've not heard of before. Hagar Freelord. And we've got Salmon Raid. Market Mayhem. Sounds interesting. Stealth Attack. So, obviously, stealthy, maximum firepower kind of thing. Gunk Tank. Mining Expedition. The Big Score. And then we have some pictures of some rogues. Oh, we've got Cal Jericho. That's a good point. He could be quite good as leader of a bunch of outcasts.
Cool.
As well. Belladonna. Grendelson. Still need to get that model. Yeah, Umbra. And then we've got some Hive Scum models. Should take a look at it in a minute anyway. And then we have the Slaver delegation model there. And some Ogrins. Some of the, I suppose it's good for using some of the other models from Forge World with these guys. I think that's one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
And then Outcast Gang Tactics. And we have Lady Creator. These are actually the rules. Lady Creator in here as well, which is nice.
That's handy.
That will be. Rebel Lord. And then trading posts. And all the war gear at trading posts. All the usual kind of thing. Nice picture of Cal Jericho. And armour, so the rules still. Quite a lot of rules. More rules. Personal equipment. Weapons, accessories. All the stuff you normally get. This is Ashwood Stranger Outcast Leader. Right. Another new guy I've not heard of.
Interesting.
And then more rules for equipment. Going on to the end of the book by the looks of it. Nice picture. And a picture of Necromunda. So that's what's in there. Rules for the Outcast, as you expect. Rules for an Outcast campaign, which is quite cool.
Okay.
And a few of the special characters, rather than having them on little cards.
Yeah.
Oh no, it looks like a cool book. Looks like a good addition to Necromunda anyway. So we have our Outcasts gang. So we need to put them together. And as I was going through that, I realised I did order the cards and they're not here.
I was going to say that. Was the cards for it? You did get them, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I'll have to check up that later. But I definitely ordered the cards. Right. So we have the Outcasts. So we'll start by opening those up. And yes, if you don't mind, since you have the clippers of opening. Here we go. So tip it. That's what the base is. One of them is random. We also have a random head. Just go off screw, another random base. Yeah, so there's 10 bases, another 2 because
there's one on there as well.
12 models. Okay, and now I'm confused. Then we have sprues, so 1, 2, 3 sprues. Try to see which these are all the same. Sprue. There's no instructions, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got instructions?
Yeah, that's instructions.
Crikey.
Let me just have a look. Those two are the same. And...
Oh, excellent.
yeah, you've got 3 the same.
As these go together how I'd hope they go together. So these are more multi-part than previous Necromunda gangs. Models, shall we say. So we have 2 parts, like 18 and 17 make up the body. And then we have whatever arms we want to and head we want to add onto it. So we'll go ahead. I think there's only like 4 different bodies to be fair. So Hive Scum 1, we'll cut off the body for Hive Scum 1 and then we'll find some weapons to give him.
Okay.
Show which one it is. So we need 17 and 18 to start with. And I shall manually zoom in. Okay. So I also took the opportunity to check. I did actually order some cards from Element Games. They've not come because Games Workshop's not supplied them with them yet.
Oh wow. Okay.
So good of Games Workshop.
That's nice of them.
Right. So we have back and front. Those two just go together. Pretty simple. And then we add that onto a base. So let's glue that together. And then we have what looks like, is it just these ones that can be added on that's showing? Or could we add anything on is the question. So put that together. Oops. Let's go on to his base. So we have an option of a last pistol for 20. There's other optional grenade on, but that can go on any one. Doesn't really matter that one. That's just for visual. We have a last pistol. We have like a flail. We have a head, which looks like he's got goggles on. And then we have an auto pistol, bolt head, chainsaw. We have, that'll be a last gun. Last gun, just with the other arm for the last gun. And then we have a different head. That's actually this head here.
That's
conveniently
fallen
No,
off.
I'm going to use that. It's the will of the gods. Use that head, no matter what else I do. So we should stick that on. Then we have Hive Scum 2 with different weapons options. But the arms are considerably different. It's like much thinner arms. So it looks like there's some mixing and matching going on. I don't know if they're completely multi-part, like you can put any weapon on. Those arms are about the same. So there's where you've got the individual arms, it's pretty straightforward to do, I think. What I'm going to do as an experiment is there a shotgun. If you cut off part 30 and 29, because these arms are shown on a completely different body. I mean, width-wise, it shouldn't make any difference. We shall see. We'll test it. Testing 101, see if they are truly multi-part. Okay, so I can confirm at least the shotgun fits on this body.
Cool.
Okay, so for as far as mixing and matching goes, there's at least some capacity for that. Let's put body 2 together, which is 3 and 4, parts 3 and 4. So again, 2-part body. And so we'll go back and we'll see if we have some of these weapons on. Should we go with the last one on this, 28 and 27? It's a better test because hand on the shotgun's separate, hand on this isn't. So we'll see if this one will fit on. I'm a bit concerned maybe with the shoulder pads the way they are, it might not. Maybe it will. We shall see. Okay. Yeah. Actually looks pretty funky as well. Just need an appropriate head. I'm thinking this guy with a hood, number 2. There we go. It's definitely, you're not completely stuck with just using the combinations shown here. So far, anyway. I imagine I think there's a female body in here. I'm not sure how that would look with some of the
masculine arms.
Masculine arms. It depends on, it might work, it might not. We have, which is the next one, High Scum 3. High Scum 4's got like the mining, I call it like a mining outfit. Kind of reminds me of the Gene Stealers.
I was thinking that actually.
Yeah. I mean, if you want some variation of Gene Stealer cultists, these are great. You just need to put some Gene Stealer heads on them instead. Done. They'd also make great Chaos cultists as well.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 10 and 9 which go together. Again, same way. Just 2 parts. So this is the female style body. There's some options for heads, but looks with 8, 7 and 1. I think we'll go with 8. I know 7's also used as a male head as well, so there's some variation one way or another. I would say the arms look significantly different on 3. Although, saying that, the same arm is used for 13 and 2. So the muscularity doesn't really matter. I mean, if you look at the ashes, they're really muscular. So it probably doesn't make any difference.
It could be a rogue asher that's just left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it looks like, to be fair, this is very multi-part.
That's good.
Which I really do approve of, to be fair. I wish all the Necromunda kits were multi-part. It would make life a lot easier. What should we give her? We've got 2 with... Should we make her a bit more up close and violent?
Why not?
Go with this tomahawk type thing. That is cool. I do like the tomahawk.
Is that number 13?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an axe. Not really a tomahawk. Kind of looks like a tomahawk though.
We'll go with tomahawk.
Also, this is a sawn-off shotgun as well, which, you know, you can never really go wrong with a sawn-off shotgun, I suppose.
So what number's that one?
14.
14.
I have a feeling that was going to stick to me. That must be made of plastic. Unique. Yes, this is definitely a sawn off. Pretty cool, like it. Got a Mad Max vibe. There we go. I'll stick on my head. You could even use like some Escher heads and some Orc heads to make some even more variation from this. There you go, it's better actually. And then the last of the bodies, last body, with high skin 4. So it's 23 and 24. But yeah, I think it is like a miner's suit, to be fair.
It does remind me of Gene Stealers.
Yeah, and they're meant to be some sort of mining operation. So we have, this one's actually got separate legs. So a leg, and then there should be a leg on the other part as well. Yeah. But again, it's only a 2-part construction. It's also easy to build, and I approve of. I mean, if you can make it a 1-part construction, that would be even better. There we go. Let's go in place. I think I've had 16 actually for this.
16.
It's the most Gene Stealer looking next down. He's just bald. And we've got 2 with like 200 weapons. We'll give this guy a pistol. I'm thinking the auto pistol actually.
So what number's that one?
26. just need a weapon for their own.
I'm thinking the flail.
Give them the flail.
Just looks nasty.
Certainly does.
Be a great back scratcher there, that wouldn't it?
Crunch. Plus it does have like the rings on the wrist that kind of matches the armour.
I was just looking at the flail itself, it just looks nasty.
There we go. I definitely have to hit some of that. So there's 4 examples, the 4 different bodies you get in it. And there's 12 models, so there's 3 of each, isn't there?
Yeah, looks like it.
Maths. And yeah, so I'm not going to build the rest yet because I haven't decided what I'm going to build. But from the weapons available, I'm definitely going to have shotguns. There's a last gun there for a bit of range, and a saw off and a close combat weapon and some close combat weapons. So it's kind of a bit of a range of stuff there. So the sprue, nothing off this sprue, is it?
Nothing off that sprue, no.
So there's also a chain sword, which will make a decent addition. We have a stub gun, dagger. We have a last pistol. We have the auto gun there. Is that a different kind of? No, that's the same kind of last gun we use. And we have all the little grenades and everything on there as well. So there's a few options on there. I would have liked to see a few more options, but we get 12 models. There's obviously going to be an add-on pack with more weapons and stuff, as there was previously. So I doubt this will cover all the weapons options in the book. There seem to be quite a few when we glanced at it. Heads-wise, there is this cool guy with the goggles. And then we have some more along there as well. So there's a few options to make these Outcasts / Hive scum. What do you think?
Nice little models. Just remind me very much of Gene Stealer Cult because of the garb, and also the hooded as well. So it's very stealth-like. Reminds me, a bit of Assassin's Creed almost.
Simple head swap. You've got Chaos Cultists or Gene Stealers easily.
Yeah, easy.
No problem at all. I'm not sure how the 2 kits would bash together. The human side, so you probably could easily convert some of the Gene Stealer weapons onto these, and some Chaos Cultist weapons onto these. So it shouldn't really be much of a problem. The only issue you might have are these shoulder pads that these ones are equipped with. They do look cool though, and they don't get in the way of these ones because we checked that. So that's good. So yeah, I particularly like this one. I think this is one of the better plastic kits, and it's very basic what you get in it, but I still like the fact that it's multi-part more than
any of the
previous
others.
kits we've seen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, it's a good direction to be going in, put it that way. Right, so let's take a look at the marketplace. So what we should be getting here is 2 large market stalls, 2 small market stalls, 2 stands with Necromunda symbols on. Yeah.
Whatever that says.
2 gun racks, 2 large storage crates, 2 lock boxes, 4 small storage crates, 2 power units, 4 plasma flasks, 6 mugs, 2 mung vases, 2 coins, and then some signs, 4 signs there, and 2 buckets. There's a lot of nice MacGuffins then for making your terrain look good, as in used and being used, and some sort of like cover, and then maybe line of sight blocking terrain. It should all fit in with the Zone Mortalis. It's apparently designed to do that.
Okay.
I was in 2 minds on where to get this. Thought I got it. because I've got a lot of the Necromunda stuff. That seems to be the last thing that I'm collecting most of.
I do remember you saying that you weren't sure about it, so I didn't know whether you got it or not, and I thought it looked quite cool actually. I like the market stories, to be quite honest. I thought there's a lot you could actually do with them.
There is.
To be quite honest.
They do look cool. They're also something, if you're a kit basher or you make your own terrain, it's something you can very easily recreate.
Bash together,
At probably a tenth of the cost.
Yeah.
But here are the rules. Let's do these together. Let's have a look at them. We want parts 4, 3, and 5. This is to make the small market.
Okay.
So we'll get these parts off. This one, part 2, there. That's part 9, 1 and 9 again. So 2 9s and a 1. And then they go together. And then we have the optional signs. So let's get to this part. And we'll get the signs off as well. And then we'll have a look at what we've got. Okay, so we've got all those parts cut off. So we need to attach 4 and 5 to 3. 3 being this bit in the middle. And what we have are these very small, if you can make it out there, very small indentations and very small pegs to match those up. In case you get them mixed up between the 4 and the 5. That's how this should go. Okay, just gives us that bit there. Then we have 2, these are tiny pegs, gotta say, 2 tiny pegs to attach onto these pipes here, where there's 2 little square receptacles. And they should attach onto there and there. And you have the little hooks at the front that should be making like the holding that in place. In fact, you probably would have been worth glue in there as well to give it a bit more strength. So let's do that. Yes, much better. Okay, and then next up we have 1, which is this piece here, and we have 2 versions of 9, is it?
Yes.
So it looks like that's the top, and that 9 goes on there. Alright, I see. So that's like standing it up. Okay. So you have to make sure that this is flat to the ground. Because there's a bit of movement in that. So you got one going one way and then I presume one going the other way. It's the same part. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So that stands up on its own. Yay. So then we need to attach this bit onto here. We do have 2 square little indents on there. Doesn't really matter which way around it goes. I should attach into that. Make sure it stands up, which it does. And then we have 10 and 11, which are the two signposts. So you can put on your rat sign and your stim sign. And they are at a slight angle because the awning is at a slight angle. So you'd put obviously the biggest one furthest back. And you can have that on there to say what this is selling. Or you can stick it on the other side. It's your choice. So you don't have to stick them on at all. It's up to you. I will stick it on. Probably gonna actually just go with this side.
It does look it's either or.
What?
The picture, it looks like it's either or both.
Yeah, it's optional which sign you want to put on.
Yeah.
So we'll put this one on. Yeah, I thought I was going to fall off. Didn't push it on far enough. Come on. There we go. That's better. So we have our small stall. So that's off one sprue, isn't it? And then there's an identical sprue.
Identical.
So you could make two of these from the box set and put a sprue. But also like this also shows you that you could then take the other part of that sprue and build like a double.
A double one.
A double one if you wanted. Choice is yours. I'm going to build multiple ones. It gives you more options. Nothing concerns me is this one going back, because if you're up against the wall like that, there's going to be a gap. Although that could also be a tactical advantage to shoot along the backs of things. I don't know.
Yeah.
And if you've got that on there, you wouldn't necessarily need that, because this would support it.
It's also a trip hazard.
Yeah. In real life, yeah.
In real life.
That would definitely be a trip hazard. I'm going to sneak along the back. Face plant. Maybe put a rule in. If you run along the back, you've got to roll dice.
Yeah, roll dice.
You face plant the floor.
Yeah.
Right, so large market stall. So for this, it's 4 and 5, so it's the same poles. And then we have a larger midsection. It's got number 8. It also has a 21. I don't know what 21 is. And then we have 7. Excuse me, small stall. And then we have 6 and 9s again. And then the same signs. I presume there's only 4 of these signs in total.
Yes, there's 2 on that one.
Yeah, so you couldn't have the same sign on them all. I'm going to save the ones that got a little bit underneath for my bigger stalls, I think. Or I might just might alternate them. But again, it looks like you can do the same thing with the big stall. You can like have it as like one big tent. And then you've just got this large stall divider type thing. So you can build it like this. Or you can build them all separate. No, I'm just going to build them all separate. So that gives you the maximum amount of usage. But this goes together exactly like this one, it's just a bigger scale. So I'll show you the finished version of this. And then we have the next lot of stuff. So I'll build the next one and then we'll come back and have a look at these additional things. Okay, so we have ourselves a large stall. With a little counter, sign, and so on. Next up we have the gun rack, which is 2 of these. These are both part 18 and 2 parts 19. And we want to glue that onto that. And onto that. glue them both onto this. Like so. And then we have this little gun rack.
What do you want me to play?
Nothing, Alexa, thanks. I don't know how gun rack is translated into Alexa play something, but there we go.
Here's a station you might like.
Shut up,
Film
Alexa.
scores on Amazon Music.
Well, that out, guys. So we have the gun rack, and then we have this part here, which is like the mesh that the guns are attached to. Now, I assume as it says, you don't glue this on unless you want to, and that will just like sit on the. The reason why you wouldn't glue it on is because you've also got the option of these, which are 22 and 24. Again, it says don't glue that on, so we don't glue that on. But you have the option of these also sitting on there. One of them's got spanners and screwdrivers and that kind of MacGuffin in. And the other one has parts, some of them like ammunition in there, like Alaskan ammunition, but basically looks like scrap, and you could sit them on there, so it gives you an option. So they won't get glued, they can also just be freestanding. But what you can put on this, you could actually put any gun you want on it. If you've got all the guns and last guns, and you can line them up. But the guns you get with it, you get this very funky sniper-esque rifle, which I really actually want to see converted onto one of the models, because it looks far too good just to be sat on a market stall.
Looks like something Mando would use.
Yeah, it is. It's a bounty hunter-esque sniper gun. Just needs a little fork on the front, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then we have what can only be described as some sort of blaster. I've no idea. I've never seen one of these before. This could be like a cheap knockoff type weapon, or it could be some like alien architect. And then we have someone who's glued two knives together. So we have like a double knife. So what I'm going to do is, as it suggests, we shall glue these onto here, onto the mesh, so they can be for sale. And I'm tempted with the second one, because there's another on the other sprue, not to put them on and keep them for actual weapons. And then get some like last guns, bolt guns, or whatever freestand. I'm pretty sure I can find a bunch of last weaponry. And that will just sit on there.
Cool.
We've got a gun rack. So we've got to look at them. Move on to the Horogulum I don't know. Signpost. Looks like a big signpost. What's his information centre? I don't know. I don't know what the hell it's meant to be. But we'll move on to it anyway. She's 12, 13, two 13s, and then two 14s. And then it doesn't actually, it's 12 the whole thing.
Yeah.
Big lollipop.
Yeah.
So basically it's got the Necromunda symbol on one side and a bunch of, it's like some sort of reliquary on the other. I suppose it could have a bunch of information on there. I don't know. It does look like something that would tick round. Big Necromunda clock. Okay, right, we shall put that together. So we have left on the sprue, there's the big lollipop. And then we have two plasma flasks. That's a power unit, this thing. It's like a little generator, isn't it? That's cool. And then we have a lockbox, which is there. We have a bucket. Okay. We have 3 mugs.
Yeah.
We have a pile of coins.
And a mung.
And a mung vase.
A mung.
Yeah, they're called mung vases. So that's one sprue, and then there's the other sprue. Oh yeah, there's a big canister that it's sat on as well.
Yeah.
That doesn't have a removable lid like the smaller ones. But yeah, so we have the whole sprue there to make the same again, which we'll do afterwards. There we go. So that sort of sets up a little marketplace kind of thing going on.
It's cool.
Selling your rat and your stims. That's a scum guy for scale purposes.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
It is actually.
It's very narrative.
Very thematic.
Very thematic, yes. Very narrative. And it's always nice to have, like, scatter terrain. We've got big bits of terrain and gang hideouts as well. It's always nice to have scatter terrain. It's basically what the box is, just a bunch of scatter terrain. But it's nice and narrative, which is what Necromunda excels at, really. So, I shall move on to the two Forge World models. So we have Lady Credo. And we have Doc... I keep wanting to say Doc Hawk. A Doc Arachnus. There we go. So, first things first is to get them out of here. Using the knife of opening. So we have big base. We have a very thin piece of resin there. A very long sword. I think that's broken off there. Yeah, that's that one. Leg. And some guns. And another bit. And then we've got our upper body. And we have the rules on the little card, which is always helpful to have. And we have the instructions here. So, as this is resin, what I'm going to do is we'll open up the dock as well, and then we can wash all the resin together, because it's good just to get it washed, get any mold stuff
Still on it.
off the...
Draws out any oil as well, if there's any oil in it.
Yeah, if there's any residual oil.
Shouldn't be on little ones.
Should be on something this size.
You never know. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, because when you come to paint it and all
the paint runs off and you're like, whoa!
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, that was annoying. That happened on your Titan.
Yeah, it did. Of all the things to have to repaint.
Yep, and there was much gnashing of teeth and screaming.
3 repaints before anything would stay out.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we've got all the parts there. There's a little bit there, looks like it's cool. And we have the base. Those are all the parts. What we're going to do is we'll get them off these little sprues that they come on. And then we shall start gluing them together. Back in a moment. Okay, so we're back and we have lots of bits. So this is Lady Credo. And that's Doc Arachnus. And thanks again, Forge World, for making me cut every single little part of her blade of a buzzsaw off. Thanks, that was really fun.
Bro.
Oh dear. Right. So, first things first is we stick the legs together. Is that right?
That's right, the legs, yeah.
Right. So we have these two parts. It should connect up like that. Okay. What's next?
Okay. The body is next, so...
The body.
Body.
Okay, so we have there's a little bubble there, but that should be fine. But behind it is the actual hole. You need to stick it in, and that goes on there. What's next?
You can put 5 and 6 on, I suppose. And then part 3, and then 7 and 8.
So 5 and 6 is...
Is the 2 bits of cloth.
These 2 bits?
Yeah.
Okay. So, which goes where?
You've got 5 that's got like a part of a belt buckle on it.
Okay, like that one.
Yes, that looks like.
Yep.
And that goes over the leg that's not stood on the rock.
Like that.
Like that.
So you're probably best putting that on before the body.
It's hard to tell from these instructions, to be quite honest, which one goes first.
Right. So that goes on there.
And then the other one goes on the other side.
Right. Okay. Sweet. Stay on this time. That's what it's all about. So that one goes on there.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
So we have that bit on there. And that bit goes on there. Now it's going to need finding a little bit, I think, to fit in there. So let me do that. Yeah. So we've put the second bit on. In order to put it on, you've got to loop it underneath the leg. Like that. And there was a little bit of that was attached to the sprue, which is why I had to file it down properly. Wasn't too bad. And then we reattach the body on top of that. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to let this glue set, so we'll be back in a second. Okay, so while our body's still drying, what we're going to do is we're going to attach these servitors to the wires that they're attached to. So we have this one here. Oh, servitor. What is
Servitor?
Not servitor, is it?
Servo Skull.
Servo Skull. We'll attach them. So this one to go that way around. It's just like the more bendy of the two. And this is the Servo Skull. It's got 2 little claws. Those 2 need to connect together there. Which is fiddly. And I really wish I had some activator. I could spray this with, because that'd be really useful. But yeah, those 2 parts to those 2 parts. So you have the braided wire at the back and then the normal wire at the front. So you know which way around it goes. Right. to have to hold this for a while. Then I'm going to attach the other one to the other wire. So I'll be back when I've done that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this Servo Skull onto there. Which again is going to be fiddling, I have to wait for it to dry. So just going to stick that into there. And I'm also going to stick on the part of this bowl onto there. So we'll be back when that's dry. Okay, so we have those glued on there. Next I'm going to do the arms. I'm just going to put them on. It's going by a sort of standard little peg. So she has one sort of like pointing up and then she has the sword pointing out. So I'll stick that on and then we can fiddle around with this afterwards. There we go. So the last thing is to put this other Servo Skull on, which attaches onto the bow about there, and then has to be fed through the gap there, and should end up sort of like looping around. So I'll show you that in a minute, because it's going to be a bit of an annoyance to put on, but I'll be back in 1 second. And there is the completed model. So a bit of a pain to twist that around, but it looks like it's in the right place now. She is an awesome model. Right, we shall move on to the dock. And there's the buzzsaw that took me ages to cut out. So okay, so we have the arms, which we're going to sort out first, because he's got them in that weird position where he's putting his gloves on. So I think one of them fits into that. Glue on that. So the other arm should go on this side. Seems to fit around there, but I want to check because we have the hands in this weird position. Yep, seems to be going in the right place. Okay, so I'm just going to let that set and line these up at the same time to make sure we're in the right place. And then I'll be back. So there we go, the gloves. Next up we're going to attach the head. Simple joint in there. So we should put that on. And we'll also attach the backpack at this point to get it into place. And it just goes onto the back there with one of those round attachments. So there is the head and the backpack in place. And now it's a case of attaching the arms. They all attach via this sort of ball joint. And go in each of those as they correspond. I believe it's the Servo Skull attachment in that one. And we have the sort of like some sort of cutting laser, I imagine, in that one. The Buzzsaw goes in the bottom, and the big knifey, daggery thing goes at the top. So I'll go ahead and stick them on, add them to his base, and we'll come back with a finished model. And there we go, all finished. Docker Arachnos, another cool model actually. I really like these two models. So those are the two Forge World models, finished. And there we go. Some interesting additions there to Necromunda. So I'm going to go away now and find some more weapons, go on the other weapon rack, and build the other part of the marché. And cool, you can enjoy some Necromunda. So, thanks for watching, and you can join us again for some more Necromunda. We do have the other two gangs we haven't done yet, the Dulac and Necondo gangs for Claire to do. We do have some videos for them coming up, stay tuned for that. And we have some other stuff coming up as well, so please like and subscribe to see all that new content. As for me, take care for now, and see you all later, guys. Bye!